All right, good evening, race fans. Welcome into Inter's Racing League. It's round 20, the final race for season 5, tier 3 at Abu Dhabi, of course, where all the final races take place, usually in F1. Joined tonight by the famous commentator we have here, Scotty, the team principal for Red Bull and tier 1 driver. How are you doing this evening, mate? Thanks for joining us.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, happy to join in. Lovely Friday night. So, gonna look forward to the weekend and obviously final round, Abu Dhabi. Plenty of good racing I've seen on this particular game around here with a couple of leagues that I've raced in. So, it should be a cracker for Tier 3. I know the championship's wrapped up for both the drivers and constructors, but hopefully the boys give us a fantastic finale to round off a long 20 round season. We've seen plenty of battles throughout all three tiers, and tier three's definitely not been the exception. Been great racing, quick killer. Looking for win number 9. Hopefully, maybe one of the other boys tries to give him a challenge, and hopefully we see someone other than the Alfa Romeo. But yeah, he's hoping. But yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, spot on there, Scotty. All season long, Tier 3 have really been putting on a good show for us here. Of course, we had Powers, who was absolutely dominating in his Williams earlier on in the season. And then Alfa Romeo team principal, Timmy, drafted Quick Killer as quick as he took over that team principal role, got him in there. And Quick Killer, as you said, has been dominating, looking for race win number 9, and he's taken away the championship with a couple of rounds to go. So, yep, credit to him. Fantastic season, and he will be moved up a tier next season. So, good luck in tier 2 next season. But yeah, we can't overlook Luke Fallow, who has come into the Williams team to replace Powers. He's been outstanding in the races that he's been in so far. Just 3 races, I believe, and 53 points he's racked up. So in P15 at the moment, but you'd imagine, Scott, if he was racing all season, he'd really be fighting for the chip.
Yeah, 100%. He's actually got 59 points, but that's a win,
59, there we
a
go.
win and a second from 3. So yeah, fantastic job. He's picked up 2 pole positions as well. We've actually had a bit of spread with the pole positions. Power's obviously the most with 5, but then we've got a lot of drivers on 2 each. So as I said, Quick Killer hasn't quite had the measure in quali with only 2 poles, but in saying that, it's his racecraft and his race pace that has really seen him get this championship done. But also saying that, Powers, Tetris, and we'll say Luke the last few rounds. Obviously, Williams taken the Tier 3 constructors. So that's been a very dominant team in Tier 3, and obviously those boys are trying to work. Williams currently only 23 points in front of McLaren in the overall. So that's definitely going to be their target. As long as they can pick up as many points as they can tonight, they will really help Williams out in terms of the next 2 tiers, which I sort of feel McLaren is just a little bit stronger than them. So definitely need to try and score quite a few tonight.
Yeah, good point there. Interesting note that about McLaren that you just mentioned. We do have a replacement driver tonight, FTA SSG in the McLaren, otherwise known as Pancake, recently joined Inter's Racing League. So good luck to you tonight, mate. Not sure if you're aware, but McLaren team principal Mercy will be relying on you to do the best you can out there and hopefully grab a few points for the team. Because at the moment, you're the only one representing McLaren out there, as is Ferrari, missing both full-time drivers
Oh,
tonight. Oh,
and say that he spins at the last corner, unfortunately. Oh, just got to be a little bit careful about the rejoin. Yeah, he's all good. So, really unlucky there. Was going to put in probably a decent time, but obviously just that spin at the end, that's taken his chance away. Swiss goes to the top on a 23-3. So Swiss Lord leading the Mercedes charge at the moment, but only 4 drivers have got times with obviously Pancake, FTA, SSG, with that little spin, and not the only time we'll see a spin at turn 15, I believe it is. Just it's a bit of a tricky. Sorry, turn 16. It's just a little bit of a
16.
tricky corner. That final corner, just trying to get a bit on the power a little bit too early. Maybe hitting that outside curb. But yeah, guys have just got to be a little bit careful. As Broseph, if you don't mind inviting Dan the Racer, no, he's just joined, so obviously
Beautiful.
having a little bit of issues. So, welcome, Buster, Ads, Santa as well. Hopefully having a good Friday night.
Yeah, no doubt. Hopefully I didn't put the Moz on FTA SSG there, aka Pancake on the final turn. And yeah, that's just the thing, isn't it? As you said, he put in what looked to be a pretty decent lap, and that's when the nerves really kind of crank up a gear. Like the final turn, you want to make sure you get the best out of it to get the best possible time. And it looks like, yeah, just maybe a bit of a heavy foot on the throttle there. But yeah, as I was saying, the Ferrari boys both missing tonight. Mertz has actually got a race ban. He's racked up too many license point penalties. And Parzival, otherwise known as Jesse's just missing tonight. He's got some other commitments. So just Jerabot is replacing him in the Ferrari tonight. It'll be his second race in Tier 3 as a reserve in the Ferrari. And he finished with 1 point, I believe, in P15 last weekend. So good luck to Jerabot in the Ferrari. Of course, we have Almighty Gob in the Red Bull, and Ratbag will be replacing T. Simmons in the Red Bull tonight. I'll just get through these other reserves if we can quickly. Mercedes is represented by Domwar. We're missing their second driver tonight. Deadly Fuller missing in the Haas, and we have Ersko, who is trying to get in, but I don't think he will make it, unfortunately. And Mamba is missing in the AlphaTauri, being replaced by eBay Boy tonight. So I believe that's his first race at Enters. So good luck to eBay Boy in the AlphaTauri tonight.
Yeah, as we just saw Domwar go P5. As I just quickly try and make sure that I can actually hear the sounds, but I'll quickly just change that on my end. Hopefully you guys can hear it at home, but yeah, obviously half the grid got times on the board, still 11.5 minutes. Obviously getting the track a little bit rubbered in before some of the maybe quicker guys go out. Got Gob and Dan obviously back into the lobby on their out laps. How's Luke going? He is in the final corner now, turn 16. Tetris currently P5. Ken Williams he goes up the top 23 flat. Great lap from Luke early on and sets a decent benchmarker for the guys behind the chase.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Luke Fallow, bit of a cheeky bugger too. He was just getting in my DMs earlier telling me that the other bloke, Tetris, who will be the co-owner of Inters next season, along with myself, was telling me that Tetris was telling him that he's going to be the main man next season. So, yeah, Luke Fallow just stirring the pot. Lovely to see. And, yeah, great lap there, as you said, Scotty, and he's just setting the standard out there tonight for Tier 3. So, best of luck to the young Williams driver.
Yeah, exactly right. Ads, let me know how that's going now. Hopefully you can hear that better. So we'll quickly jump on to, I think, one of the AlphaTauri at the final corner as well, just starting their first run. Quick Killer still in the pit lane, so it'd be interesting to see if he does go out for a lap. Right, see if he does a sneaky last to first. That'd be a bit of accomplishment. Oh, Dan goes purple in the middle sector, but he just takes inside cone out at turn number 9.
Yeah, I was following Dan earlier, and he just went a little bit wide. I think it was around turn 3 or 4 early on in his lap, and invalidated. So he'll be looking to really post the time here with just over 9.5 minutes remaining there, Scotty.
Yeah, he had a little bit of moment through 13, and a little bit narrow coming into the final corner and loses the back end through the final one. He does set a 25.3, but yeah, he was all over the shop in that last sector. Maybe running a little bit more, possibly straight line speed maybe for the straights. But yeah, he definitely didn't look comfortable in that final sector, unfortunately. But Dan's still got plenty of time left to go in the session as Tetris moves into P2, so we've got a Williams front row lockout at the moment. But again, we haven't seen Quick Killer, and we haven't seen the likes of Gob put a competitive time in, so we'll wait and see. But he's about to cross the line now. He's Gob, crosses the line, goes top 5, so not a bad banker. And just behind Callie on that third row of the grid.
Yeah, Gobby's been in fantastic form this season. You must be pretty happy with his form, at least in the second half of the year. He's really been racking up the points for Red Bull, and not just here, other leagues as well. And he's been racking up a couple of wins and podiums, so fantastic to see. And as you said, JT Callie in the Alpine, P4 at the moment with a 1:23.5 reserving tonight. JT Callie I was in just chats with him earlier today, and he's really looking forward to season 6 and looking forward to being drafted to a full-time seat next year. So if you're out there looking to get involved, make sure you get onto the server and sign up, because the forms are out and waiting to be filled, boys.
Yeah, it's definitely looking forward to season 6. As I said, obviously some driver changes in terms of moving up tiers. Obviously, all the 2 champions in tier 2 and 3 will be moving up respectively. So Mercy in tier 1, as we see the Ferrari go into P11. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. Obviously, how that sort of works out. Tetris is in. Gold has validated. I think we've got another Alpine on a flyer coming into the middle section. It's Callie, and we've seen Callie have some really good pace coming through. I'm just trying to see if I can see him on the leaderboard. Picked up a couple of podiums, so hopefully he can do that for Alpine one final time. He does improve, stays P4, 23.3. Just behind Twist Lord and about 2 and a bit tenths behind Luke, so he's not too far off.
Yeah, no, not much in that at all. He did improve, as you said, but just didn't get up in the top 3, but he is on the second row of the grid, so I think Kelly will be happy if he can keep in that position there to start the race. Quite Cake as well, he's had a really solid year. The Cake in the Aston Martin currently 7th overall with 118 points, so not far behind Trenner, and Trenner, of course, not racing tonight in the McLaren, so Quite Cake will be looking to take advantage and jump up at least 1 position. Maybe if he can get a little bit higher in Swiss Lord, maybe DNF, so he can jump up to P5 there, but he's had a very solid year, Quite Cake.
Yeah, what would be looking to finish the season off with a bang, currently P7, hasn't ended up on the podium at the moment. So hopefully he can try and sneak on there for the final round, as on board with, or following Bang through now into the final sector. Bang, we know he's had some good pace. He's picked up a podium, I think a couple of rounds ago. But yeah, he's got 130. He'd like to improve that. Currently 14th in the standings, 60 points. So as he comes through turn 15 and now the final corner, turn 16, crosses the line now. Can he move up into the top 9, 24 flat? 3 laps on those soft tyres, so obviously they'll have a bit of wear on him, but he can come in. 5.5 minutes left to go in the session. He'll be able to chuck on some new boots and do his final run.
Yes.
As switching over to Jace F1.
Yeah.
Not a competitive lap time on the board as of yet, but good to see Jace in the reserving for the Aston tonight. So we'll see how he can go.
Yeah, Jace replacing Argo tonight, who's missing from his full-time seat in the Aston. But yeah, great to see Jace back in the Aston seat tonight and post a 1:24.3 to put himself into P12 there. So it's not too bad there. He's got just over 5 minutes remaining, so you'd imagine he might duck back in and put on a fresh set of tyres and come out and see if he can go a little bit quicker.
100%. Who can we follow through? We'll follow Jenneth, because he's same purple in the middle sector for himself. Spoke to him just beforehand. He doesn't want much attention on him. He doesn't want me to say his name 3 times because, it sort of had the mockery on a couple of drivers last week. So we'll try and avoid that. Sam Ben in particular, he really copped a commentator's curse, but he goes top 22.8.
Jenneth Lee!
Lovely job from him.
1:22.8.
Lovely lap from him, and his teammate, the eBay boy, he's in 3rd place, so both AlphaTauris looking really strong at the moment. P1, P3, if you don't mind.
Wow. Where did that come from, Jenneth? I tell you what, he will be absolutely beside himself with a sitting in provisional pole at the moment. Fantastic, Jenneth. Good on you, mate. Outstanding for all your hard work and dedication for trying to improve your F1 driving skill and racecraft, mate. So it's obviously paying off. Well done.
Yeah, and obviously we've loved having him in the comms box as well. He's a pinch hit whenever he can. When we've put a sort of notification in for anyone to put the hand up, Jenneth's always been a valuable asset to the comms team. So yeah, it's great to see him up there at the moment. But again, we've got 3.5 minutes left to go. We've got our championship Tier 3 champion yet to set a lap time as of yet. So possibly only doing one final run at the end. But it's going to be very interesting to see if anyone can actually beat the Alpha Tauri, as that's a collision. Yeah, that's a DNF on track. Yeah, Pancake. So he's had an issue out of the chicane. So righty, and I'm assuming he's hit the wall on the right-hand side. So McLaren won't be starting any higher than P12 at the moment. That's real costly.
Yeah, Don Moore just puts himself, P11 with a 124.1. So outstanding there from Don Moore. Obviously an OG from Inter's, been here since season 1. So shout out to Don Moore for his dedication. But interesting, as you said, Quick Killer not posting a time yet. I've got to let you in, Scotty, if you haven't read this yet. Oh, just quickly.
Swiss Law goes into the top 2. He just misses out on provisional pole. 7 1,000ths of a second. It looked to be a clean final couple of corners. He just misses out, but I think that might be his final run too, unless he tries to maybe go on another set, goes on the same set of tyres, because he won't have enough time to come in and box. So, but that's a great lap from the Mercedes driver.
Yep, we've got a few cars just starting their lap there. We've got Dan the Racer in the Alpine, fabulous racecraft from him. I've really admired his driving over the last few rounds. Quiet Cakes just started his final lap in the Aston Martin, but as I was saying in the Tier 3 chat earlier today, I believe it was Tetris in the Williams put a challenge to Quick Killer in the Alfa Romeo to start from the back of the grid tonight. So it looks like he may have taken that challenge on.
No, because he won't, because he's coming out of the pit lane. He's on his out lap. He's at the hairpin. As Dan's retired, saw him coming into pit lane, so that's his session done. He'll be starting outside the top 10, unfortunately, for the final round. So, as we look through... Oh, that's Dunmore's retired, and we've got Luke just sitting on the exit of the chicane, obviously letting all the traffic through.
Swiss Lord just coming around the final turn at the moment. No, he's coming to pits.
Yeah,
so
he
I
obviously didn't have enough fuel or ERS, so he couldn't continue on. But Callie certainly can. He's up by half a second, which will put him possibly P3. If he's got any more time to find in this final sector, he might find himself on the front row, even provisional pole. Comes around the final corner. Wasn't too bad of an exit to turn 16. He does find that half second, but again, 22.8, but not quite to touch the top 2. As Quiet Cat goes into the top 5, 23.1. We've got Gob, he's invalidated, but he is starting his final lap now as we have 40 seconds left to go in the session. The Ferrari of Jerabot is in, so he is done. What about the Williams of Tetris? He goes top 4, 23 flat. So he's on the second row at the moment. Luke's going to start his final run. eBay Boy, he's starting his final run. Ratbag is done, so he's P9 at work at best.
Jeneth is staying in the pits. He's happy with his lap at the moment.
We might go on board with Quick Killer for this final lap of his. 6 seconds left to go. We're going to see the checkered flag shortly. What can the championship winner from Tier 3 do as he comes around turn number 3 and 4? Comes up to the hairpin of turn number 5. 17.5 for the first sector. He's backed out. So he will be starting plumb last. He's got 6 seconds left to go. He's giving his teammate a tow.
Yep. That's Bang behind him. So Bang currently P12 with a 124 flat and looking to get a nice big tow behind championship leader here. Quick Killer as he pulls over to the left and lets Bang go into the chicane of 6 and 7. Oh, no. I believe he's backed out as well. No, Bang... Well, Quick Killer may have... Oh, I do believe that might be against the rules there.
Yeah, I believe that is. You're not meant to cut to get an advantage from that. So, yeah, that did look a little bit weird. But Callie goes into the top 3. Is the top 3 Gob P4. So, just missing these last laps. We've got Luke coming across the line. He goes into the top 4. We've got the AlphaTauri behind. He goes into P7.
Tetris, can he improve? He needs to go pole to knock off Jeneth.
No, he's not.
He's not going to improve.
No.
Bangladesh or Bang Labby.
He goes P9. That's an improvement, but he did get help from a tow that his teammate did cut that chicane, so he might be in a little bit of trouble with that. You can't cut you can't cut track limits to either gain time or to give yourself an advantage or your teammate an advantage.
Or
So
your
yeah, it
team,
might be a bit of an issue there. So I can understand what Quick Killer was doing, but he needed to pick a straight. He couldn't cut the one to help him with both. So, but Bang will start P9. I said I think it won't really be Bang that will get penalised. It'll be Quick Killers, but Quick Killer's definitely starting last. But it's Jenneth. Fantastic lap from the AlphaTauri driver. He's going to start in pole position for our final race in Tier 3.
Wow, you have to say, the man of the hour, Jenneth Lee. That's pole position, Jenneth, by 7/1000th to Swiss Lord. So absolutely nothing in it. And you've got to say it's just about what? Well, you've got up to less than 3/10 separating the top three there. So very, very close field here. It's going to be an outstanding start to the race. But yeah, good luck, Jenneth. Let's hope you get away nice and cleanly. And yeah, it'll be a nice, good race for you, mate. This is new territory for Jenneth. So yeah, outstanding to see. Of course, Callie reserving in P3 tonight. Great performance there. Gobby in the top 5. Tetris P6. eBay Boy P7 for the AlphaTauri. So both the AlphaTauris really doing well tonight. Quiet Cake, Bang, and Rat Bag to just wrap up the top 10 there. So in for a hell of a race, Scotty.
Yeah, 100%. And our championship winner is starting in 16th and plumb last, but top 8 only 2.5 tenths difference as well. So very close, not only between the top 3 but the top 8 as well. So this is going to be a fascinating race to see how these guys go in terms of strategy. 29 laps is 50% around this 5.281 kilometre circuit. Been on the calendar now for about 14 years now. So obviously clear skies, been in the desert, so fat chance of any rain. And it's going to be very interesting to see how quickly Quick Killer can move up positions and how well Jenneth can go from pole. Obviously it's quite a short run down into turn 1 the left-hander, so definitely you can stick a nose up the inside. Plenty of room, but as I said, just got to be a little bit careful, and then obviously through turns 2 and 3 with heavy fuel can be a little bit tricky, so hopefully we can manage to get through at least the first lap without any incidents.
Yeah, let's hope so. Not sure if you can hear that, Scotty, but Jenneth Lee's phone is absolutely blowing up. Let's hope he can concentrate here. We've got 4, 5 lights, and we are going to be lights out here for the final race. We are off and racing. Jenneth Lee, does he get a nice clean start? It looks like he does. Swiss Lord up on the inside. He might take the lead here. Gives him a lot of space. So does Jenneth. They come together, and Swiss Lord is around.
Absolute carnage.
Swiss Lord is out of the race. Unfortunately, Jenneth continues on. Callie's got a 5-second penalty. There was a lot of carnage after that. It looks like we've got a safety car, or at least a virtual.
Virtual. Oh, and Pancake didn't get moved. So interesting to see what happened there. But yeah, obviously a bit of issue. But that was a chaotic start. We're under a virtual safety car. McLaren not scoring any points. Williams have both cars still, but Luke's definitely got some damage. As I quickly bring up my little cheat sheet here, we've got front wing damage for Callie, for Quiet Cake, and for Domwall that is showing me stats. So yeah, that hurt. Jenneth still takes the lead, I think. I think he went wide. I think that was just Swiss Lord. Just went a little bit deep, running into the back.
Ooh.
And
Scotty?
Yep.
It is a virtual.
Yeah, definitely a virtual. So it'll be interesting to see how long this goes for.
Now, it looks like we are back under racing. So, Gobby has closed the gap to Jenneth. It's just under 4 tenths, or just over 4 tenths now. Dan, the racer up into P3 in the Alpine. Tetris into P4 in the Williams. So we're back under racing here. Looks a little bit cleaner, a bit further down the field. So hopefully no more incidents. And yeah, just a unfortunate ending there for FTA, SSG and the McLaren. Looks like you couldn't get off the line there, Scotty. What do you see?
Yeah, sorry. Quick Killer trying to actually get past on his teammate. Had a little bit of contact, but he gets the job done. And I think Banks got damaged, so that's why he was slow through the last sector. And he's got a bit of a slide through, so that leads us away from turn 1. We've got some Swiss Lord joining us as well. Swiss Lord, really unfortunate for your final round of the season to end like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was really bad driving in the start. Come on. I throw away my P4 in this totally placement. Come on, that's horrible.
Yeah,
I have good qualifying and this is happened.
Yeah, it
Shit
looked like
happened.
you and Jenneth were both giving each other a lot of room there in turn one, and it looks like it
Yeah,
came back to bite you both. Unfortunately,
and
coming together, and yeah, you just got the worst
yeah,
end
I
of it
cut
there.
so bad the first curve, and then was like the first turn, and then was like that.
Yeah.
Unhappy, but nice job.
Well, maybe now you get to go back to bed, Swiss Lord. Still nice and early over
Yeah.
there in Switzerland, I imagine.
No, it's 12 o'clock. I go back to work, I think.
Fair enough, mate. All right. Well, thanks for
Good.
jumping in, and as you said, outstanding
Thank
season. You're
you.
currently in P5, I believe. So it looks like you probably will finish there, as Trina's not racing tonight, unless Quiet Kate can get the jump on you. But yeah, it looks like you probably will finish in P5. So congratulations
I hope
on an
so. I
outstanding
hope so.
season
Thank
there
you.
at
Thank
Mercedes,
you.
mate. Well done.
See ya, guys. Bye.
Thank you, and obviously while we're doing that, Broseph, unlucky for you, Jeroboam, the one and only Ferrari in this race, he's retired as well out of turn 2, which has caused this turn 1, sorry, the exit of turn 1, and has caused our first safety car of the afternoon. And we're down to 13 already, unfortunately. Mercy, obviously, probably not too happy with the disqualification for your one and only driver, with both of them still scoring points. So, unlucky for you, but be interesting to see what everyone does. Quick Killer managed to avoid all the carnage and was up 10 spots in the opening lap, so that last to first is working out well for him, because he's right on the back end on the hard compounded tyres as well. So I'd imagine a lot of drivers will come in, because it's a long way to take probably your set of hards or maybe your mediums, unless they're thinking we'll get another safety car, especially with sort of how the first 2 laps have gone. But Jenna's done well to hold on. Gob's up into P2, Dan up into P3, as we got a few drivers coming in for a bit of front wing damage, so that's getting all that fixed. But yeah, 3 laps in, and Jenna's takes the lead, and we've seen a fair bit of mayhem, so we'll see if this restart's any cleaner.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, just unfortunate, as you said, the Ferrari out nice and early, as with the McLaren there, and both those guys are fairly new to Tier 3. So, yeah, look, we'll get them in during the off-season, get them into a few social races, as we'll host a few of those to get the boys ready for Season 6 when it kicks off in the first week of February. But as you said, yeah, Quick Killer in prime position in P6. It's all just come to him here in the first 3 laps, starting from the back. A virtual and now a full safety car, so he's jumped up 10 positions. As you said, I might just pick up the position changes here, and yeah, Dan the Racer up 9, so he's having a fantastic start, as is Jace F1 in the Aston, currently in P8. He's up 7 positions, and Almighty Gob up 3 positions, so I guess you'll be pretty pleased to see both your boys inside the top 7.
Yeah, and sort of got a little bit lucky, because obviously with Swiss Lord turned around, I think all the guys on the inside that took the inside line at turn 1 sort of got caught up in that, so I think Gob might have been on the outside, or you can definitely tell some of the guys got a bit of an advantage from it, and then guys that did pick up damage. As we have a look at the stops as well, you can see only the top 9 have not made a stop yet. Don Moore, Quiet Kate, Callie stopped once, and we know Callie was right up there. I think he was the first car, I believe, that did hit Swiss Lord's spinning car, so really unfortunate for him, because he did quite well in qualifying and was probably a good contender for a podium. So still obviously not over. As we switch back to the tyres, he's on a set of mediums, so he can probably do a double medium stint from here, safety car depending, but yeah, obviously definitely big winners, big losers here, but he's still in the race, so obviously a long way left to go, 25 laps, but I will just point out Pancake, FTA, SSG, had his clutch broke on the start, so that's why he got disqualified for not moving off the grid, so definitely not his fault. So yeah, it was just interesting why he stopped, and that's why his clutch broke, which obviously meant he couldn't actually get away, and unfortunately the games had to disqualify him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We know he's actually been putting in a bit of practice during the week. He was keen for his first race last weekend, but couldn't get in, but finally was racing in the final round here at Abu Dhabi, and yeah, as you said, broke his clutch off the start, so not the start that he wanted, but he will be signing up and joining us for Season 6, so yeah, hopefully we see him back on the grid, yeah, finishing a few races and having a bit of luck.
Yeah, 100%, and obviously you can't really tell if your clutch is broken or not, because you don't really need it in qualifying, because again, it lets you move when you come out of the pit lane by itself, so yeah, obviously first time you use the clutch is the race start, and yeah, unfortunately hasn't quite worked, but We are back going green at the end of this lap. Safety car is in. Jeneth giving the safety car plenty of time to get a bit of a gap. And he's got Gob and Dan the Racer right behind him on the medium tyres, but he's got a few boys on the hard tyres that will try to extend. So we'll see if they can just pull away a little bit. You can see a few DRS trains on this circuit, so interesting to see if he can break. He has gone early, quite early before turn 15, and that may have caught a few guys out. We've got a couple of guys passing further down, which you're not allowed to until the start-finish line, so I think that's been recorrected. As we start lap 5, Jeneth's actually got a 7/10 gap, so that jump was quite nice. So Gob will try and catch up, and Easy Boy on those hards, eBay Boy, sorry, he's sort of already outside of a second. And Quick Killer will try and pounce on that, only 4/10 behind.
Tell you what, Luke Fallow is having a look up on the inside of JSF1 at the moment and looks to get the move done around turn 5. Yep, nice and clean there from Luke in the Williams, so it's a great restart from him. But as you said, Jeneth Lee got off nice and quickly there from the restart, and I wasn't sure that the safety car actually got into pit lane. I thought it may have held him up, but he looked to get away nice and clean. So good restart there from Jeneth, a lot better than the start of the race there, Scotty.
Yeah, and we got Quite Cake and Dom more further down, fighting at the hairpin, and now fighting down at turn 6. And Quite Cake didn't have Dom didn't have the best run, so Callie on the medium tyres will try and get the job done, and we got side-by-side action up ahead between Jace and Quite, and I think that's just a move. Oh, that was a late lunge from Callie. Oh, Jace had to take avoiding action, otherwise there probably would be a collision, but yeah, that was an aggressive lunge from Callie, but he gets the position done, so he's up into P10, and now Quite Cake's his next target.
Yeah, I've got to say, Jace must have been looking in his rear view there and saw the absolute torpedo of the Alpine and Callie coming towards him. But, yep, got away with it. So, Callie up into P10 there, and Jace losing a couple of spots down to P13. So, just tucking in behind Bang and looking to get a bit of a tow as he gets his race back underway.
Yeah, his Gob sets the fastest lap, so he was hurrying, but he did lose a little bit through turn 2 and 3, actually. So, must have had a little bit of a wiggle in the Red Bull. So they have dropped Dan, so top two a bit of a gap of their own, and then Dan's got a little bit of a train behind, so he might be in a little bit of trouble when we get DRS activation this time next lap. As I'm going to stick on board with Dan because Tetris really got pace, but Easy Boy, the eBay Boy as well. As we're right on board at turn 6. Oh, and that's a collision, and unfortunately
Tetris.
Yeah, Quick Killer, Tetris, so we got a caution. It'd be interesting to see how many of those guys have got damage. And unfortunately, that was won't say a straight punt, but that's just a hit in the back, turn the Alpine. And yeah, unfortunate there. So Dan, really unlucky there.
Yeah, Dan, as you said, yeah, at the chicane, yep, just getting rear-ended a little bit by Tetris there.
So obviously Tetris up into P3, but we'll probably cop a penalty in the stewards for that. So Dan's right at the back of the field. Hopefully no one's picked up any major damage, from what I can see. But it has sort of just let the top two really get away now with that incident, as we've got a yellow flag. Jace is now retired.
He's just coming around, yep, 14, the exit of 14, yep.
So safety car number 2, and this might actually work out for the medium runners. Dan's going to stay out another lap, but I think if you're Jonathan Gob, I think you come in for a set of hards at this point. You can try and stretch those hards, and you can make a stop under a safety car and not under green flags. That might help, but you'll see all the hard runners probably stay out. But it's probably a good time for Jonathan Gob to come in.
Yeah, I'd have to agree there. Jeneth, he won't want to see the safety car, I imagine. He got out to a really good start there after the first one came out. Just over a second to Gobby it was, I believe.
It was, but Gob did close that gap just beforehand. Okay. So, but obviously sort of nails it. But I think disappointing for those two because they did get 3 seconds on Tetris. So that sort of gave them a gap on the rest of the field. So, but they were on the medium. So I said, I feel like those two will come in. Hard runners probably would stay out unless they decide to go to either a medium or a medium soft. Be interesting to see how it goes. But hopefully we should be under the safety car for 2 laps. But Jace, unfortunately, sort of Latifi corner turn 14. But lost it a little bit further down the field, so he must have had a moment on the exit curb rather than losing it mid-corner. But unfortunately, that takes one of the Astons out, and we're down to 12.
Yeah, I've got a feeling when Tetris went in the back of the Alpine Dan the racer, who's currently down into P12 at the moment, unfortunate for him, I had the feeling that eBay Boy was putting the pressure on Tetris, and that may have prompted Tetris just to break a little bit late there. So he was feeling the heat from behind him. So eBay Boy up into P4 now. He's only 2 spots behind Jenneth Lee in P1.
Interesting.
So if they can somehow work together, we've got a few cars coming in now.
Yeah, interesting call.
Jenneth stayed out.
Yeah, Jenneth and Callie, understandable, because he obviously made his stop, so he's on a different strategy altogether, but I'm surprised Jenneth Lee didn't take advantage of that safety car and come in for a set of hards.
He does have his teammate behind him, though, to give him a little bit of a hand from the quicker guys behind him. So I'm not sure if those two are in cahoots, in comms together, but that's kind of given Jenneth a little bit of a buffer.
And Gob's coming out P8 on the hards, which isn't actually too bad, so obviously he will be at the back of the pack. He'll just follow the pack until those guys make a stop, and if there is another safety car, he can at least go back into the pits on a set of mediums. So it's not the worst thing in the world to do it. Obviously he's lost a little bit of track position, but he will be on fresh hards, and obviously the guys behind, Tetris, fresh mediums, Luke on fresh mediums. Both were being caught up, but thankfully they can sort of have a bit of a mare race. As long as they finish, they're making points on McLaren, so they just need to cross the finish line. Whether they get lots of penalties or not, they just need to get across the finish line, pick up those points and get a bit of an advantage, because McLaren's really strong in Tier 2 and in Tier 1. Sort of it's a roll of the dice there, but yeah, just need to keep finishing, and yeah, by the look of it, we've lost 4 cars in 8 laps, so it's going to be a bit of an attrition race possibly here, so just got to be a little bit careful. Safety car is in, so it was a bit of a late call, so Jenneth won't be able to go as early as what he does. He just has to be a little bit careful that he gets the safety car into pit lane before he can actually get the jump, otherwise the game will slow him down. As you can see, they're really crawling.
Oh, he's gone early.
As I said, that's plans worked for him. He's allowed the safety car to come in. And his teammate's doing the bottle job, but Quick Killer will definitely want to try and get through. So we're back underway, lap 9 of 29. We've got 21 laps left to go. Jenneth leads the way from eBay Boy. Quick Killer in P3, started from the back, remember. And he's really hurrying the AlphaTauri as we come through turn 3 and now the kink of turn 4. Will Quick Killer dive down the inside? He does.
Yep, we've also got Luke Fallow in the Williams changing places with his teammate Tetris in P9, so Tetris opening the door for Luke to get up there and fight with the cars in front of him. Looks like he's getting onto the back of Gobby at the moment, who's fighting down the racer. There's a beautiful 3-car Gobby down the outside at the moment, so it looks like we might be going 3 wide, are we? No, Don Moore backs out of that one, lets Dan go through, and Dan goes, hit. Don Moore goes back into Gobby and turned him around, so a bit of carnage there at the chicane.
Yeah, I think that was Don Moore, so we got front wing damage from Gob a little bit there, so he will not be happy about that. Quiet Cakes moved ahead of eBay Boy, so he's lost a couple of positions off the restart. So, it has a big snap through the exit of turn 9 and allows Callie through. So, really struggling off this restart. So, Quick Killer up into P2 and he's got Jenneth, the car, in front on the medium tyres. So, unfortunately, Gob getting caught up. He hasn't got any end plate damage, but on my little program, it is showing him that he's got slight wing damage, so hopefully it doesn't affect him too much, but he won't be happy about the tag from behind.
Nah, definitely not, given that he just pitted and put on those brand new hards, as you said. So Luke Fallow in the Williams battling very hard, right behind Bang in the Alfa Romeo, just coming into turn 1. Yeah, gets up on the inside, trying to get, just to poke his little nose in there and see if there's a gap that he can open up and have a look in. Yeah, racing pretty hard, and of course, Bang on the back of Dan there at the moment, Scotty.
Yeah, watch Luke. 3 wide in the hairpin. No, he switches back. Does Luke try and get the inside run? That was quite nice. As we see from onboard Luke, side by side, does Bang have to move down the inside, but watch Luke. Doesn't have the
switches to the inside. No, he's just going to tuck in behind the Alfa Romeo. He is going to look for a little bit of an opening, maybe split these two.
Yeah.
There's a bit of little bit of barging there between the Alpine and the Alfa. Just not as clean coming through turn 7, but these guys are racing pretty hard. move a little bit further up. Looks like Quick Killer's on the back of Jeneth Lee at the moment, so Quick Killer looking to take P1 as quick as he can here after that restart, Scotty.
Yeah, Ben gets the loses the spot, and Luke gets both of them actually. So got one at turn 9 at the entry, and then got the other one on the exit. So great double overtake from Luke there at the end. So he's got a lot of pace, and now he's got to try and close up to that top 5 field. And Jeneth, as you can see, he's only just holding the lead. It's about a tenth and a bit. And Quiet Cake, as you said before, he's really hustling these top 2, as we do have DRS now enabled. So Jeneth's got to be a little bit of trouble as we get to the straights out of turn number 5. But Quick Killer, he's in the perfect opportunity with the guys that have stopped Luke. He's obviously a second behind, but he's got to take those mediums a long, long way. As we ride on board with the Alfa Romeo Tier 3 champion. Takes a bit of a wider line, trying to get the exit out of the hairpin. And I feel like this move is going to be done and dusted, as we got Bang and Dan fighting further back, as you can see in the background. But
yeah, those two are having a great scrap there, Scotty, behind there, Dan the racer.
Sorry, watch Quiet Cake. He's got one. Does he get around the outside? No, he doesn't. He goes a little bit deep into turn 6, as we got a bit of a nose, and that's Luke, Kelly around.
Yep, looks like maybe, yeah, there was a bit of a mix-up, bit of a collision there from a couple of guys. It looks like that chicane of turn 6 and 7 really causing a lot of drivers a lot of havoc. But they're all piling in at the moment, coming into turn 9. Yep, we've got Dan the Racer, eBay Boy, and Gob there, all having a look for the scraps. And Ratbag picks up a 5-second for ignoring a yellow flag.
Yeah, Tetris did as well, 5-second penalty, so obviously had to avoid that collision, and unfortunately the game's decided that they didn't slow down enough, or they overtook, so 5-second time penalty, so they may get that removed, but that means they can't stop again if they want that penalty removed. So back at the front, Quick Killer and Quiet Cake, they're fighting. Janet's really starting to struggle on those medium tyres now, and Luke gets past him. So I think Janet probably should have boxed, because he's just really starting to struggle on those old mediums. The hards are holding in there a little bit, but the mediums are just really starting to struggle. As it'd probably be about this lap or the next couple that you'd box for a set of the tyres. We've lost Callie again with no front wing. So he's had a moment through turn 2 and 3. So Callie, he's having a shocker of a night.
Quiet Cake up on the inside of Quick Killer, gets the job done into P1, coming down to turn 6 and 7. Let's hope these guys can get this nice and clean. Quick Killer tucking in behind the Aston Martin, gets a much better exit, but has to slow down, let Quiet Cake just take off there. So Quiet Cake up into P1, having a nice race to himself.
Yeah, these two obviously fighting. Remember, Luke is in P3, but he's made a stop, so he's got about 20 seconds on the guys in front if it stays green for the rest of the race. So he's possibly in a prime position, but Quiet Cake thinking about the move around the outside. Surely not. He does smartly back out of it. Oh, and there's nearly a collision between Luke and Quiet Cake. I think Luke just carrying a little bit more speed. Quiet Cake had to brake early through turn 11. As we got a nice aerial shot, Luke really hustling the Aston Martin through. The top three are only separated by 0.4 of a second. Oh, and Luke got a really nice run through the final corner and take the outside line into turn 1. Do they give each other enough room? He does, Luke. Fantastic job around the outside at turn 1. Now he's up into P2. His final spot is Quick Killer ahead, and he's got much fresher tyres, so this should be an easy overtake down at turn 6.
Yep, let's have a look. Oh, the Williams did get a little bit unsettled coming out of turn 1, but Quiet Cake sends it up on the inside of turn 5, doesn't get the job done. Luke gets a much better exit there, and there was a little bit of contact, but good racing there. Quick Killer regains. Oh, it looks like Luke's going to get him actually on the inside, and he goes into P1.
Sorry, Kelly has retired. Lane, so we're down to 11. Luke gets the job done. Oh, and there's contact. Quick Killer's hit, and then Quiet Cake's hit the Alfa Romeo. So hopefully those guys have picked up damage, and Quiet Cake's half around because he's hit the side of Luke. Oh, and there's contact between Bang and Jeneth. Oh, this is going to get messy again. It's turn 6, turn 5, 6. Just getting the braking all wrong.
As absolutely cursed those corners.
Yeah, Quiet Cake around Jeneth. So back up into P4 after that collision. We've got Alfa Romeo 2 and 3 at the moment. And Bang gets the move past Quick Killer. So Quick Killer, does he have damage? Not showing on my screen. So Bang up into P2, 5-lap-old medium tyres. Could we see Bang on the podium? But
I know Jeneth is really hanging out for a safety car with those 12-lap-old mediums, no doubt about it. And you'd imagine there possibly could be one with the amount of crashing we've seen happening so far, Scotty.
Yeah, obviously that's just, it's that corner, just they're sort of braking at different zones, but because they're battling side by side, they're a little bit slower going through there than usual, and the guys around aren't sort of taking that into account when they're trying to go for moves. So they've just got to be pay a little bit more attention as Tetris really pushing Jeneth along and should have much more grip out of the corner. And Jeneth didn't have DRS, so this is going to be an easy move for Tetris. So it moves back up into P5, and you got Gob. He's recovered from that safety car restarts incident that he had down at this particular corner. So he gets to move up into P6 as well. So Tetris picks up a 3-second time penalty, ran wide at turn 7 on the exit, as we've got Quick Killer going back past Bang. So
Gobby, amazing straight line speed there on the outside of Tetris. Absolutely gets the move done up into P5. So Tetris, as quick as he was up into P5, back to P6.
Yeah, Tetris didn't have DRS, obviously getting past Jeneth. So Tetris couldn't defend from Gob, so Gob up into P5 on those hard tyres. So they will work better at the end compared to the medium guys like Luke and Bang up into P1 and P3. So just watch for Gobby at the end if we remain green. But it's definitely picked up the last 5 laps. Lap 15 to 29, we are halfway distanced through the final round at Abu Dhabi for Tier 3. Luke leads by 2 seconds over Quick Killer and Bang. There's been a little bit of carnage, let's say. A little bit of bumping down at turn 6 and 7. So it might be a bit of stewards inquiries if people decide to report for the final round. But this is definitely going to get tasty by the end of the race, as Bang will have DRS on his teammate. But look at Quiet Cake, only 3/10 behind. But he went a little bit wide off the exit, and you can see a lot of these guys flashing. So using all of their battery. And we remain as we've got Ratbag down the inside of Jeneth. Jeneth's all the way down into P9. Remember, he hasn't stopped. I'm thinking he's going to medium soft strategy now, because you'd come in for the
medium
hard top.
soft.
So I think that's the only way he can go, unfortunately. He's got to go onto the soft tyres, because he's got to be really slow on those hards. And as I said, he's just losing time. He just needs to stay with Ratbag, just stay within DRS, and just maybe hope for a safety car. Oh, is that wide from Tetris? So he's had a little bit of snap through turn 9. But I want to head back, because the pack between P2, Quick Killer on those really old hard tyres, he hasn't stopped yet, remember. He's the only one besides eBay Boy, Jeneth. They're the only 3 yet to stop in this race so far.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's going to cost Jeneth Lee. Obviously, was the choice of strategy. Had a great qualifying lap there to put himself up into P1, and was really showing some good pace in the first few laps, and built up a pretty good lead. At least the top 2 pulled away, and looked like he may have gotten away with the podium if there wasn't so many safety cars. But yeah, of course, choosing not to box early on those mediums after about 7 laps has really cost Jeneth back into P9 on 15-lap-old mediums.
Yeah, and Gobby's now caught this train from P2, and he's actually brought Tetris with him. Tetris has still got DRS with Gob, so we're now a pack of 5 from P2 down to P6. Obviously, a few guys got penalties in between. But as we get the onboard shot of Tetris's front wing, and if we can get the exit, Quiet Cake.
Yeah. Quiet Cake and Bang. Yep, just going around 6 and 7 quite peacefully together for the first time in about 16 laps for all of the drivers here tonight. So that was a good showing there. Cake just showing a bit of patience and just letting Bang through there, but
that's
making sure he's keeping the pressure on.
Yeah, sorry, that's why from Quick Killer, but thankfully he had a bit of a gap, so he didn't lose any time, but possibly a warning for that, so he's got to be a little bit careful. But this is all this is doing. This is helping Luke 3.5 second gap now. So he can now just manage his mediums now. Obviously they'll be really going off, because he's got to take about 21 laps, I believe, these medium tyres. So that's a fair stretch. So he's just got to try and hang them in, just drive cautiously while these guys behind are battling.
Yep, no doubt about it. Luke is going to have to stretch those mediums out if he wants to finish on those. But, yeah, you've got to say these guys that are really quick just seem to have a bit of a knack for stretching those tyres out. So hopefully he hasn't burnt them too much coming through the field there. But Quiet Cake, yep, just giving Bang a little bit of a little bit of a kiss on the back of the gearbox there, and didn't look like too much damage there, so they'll continue on racing hard.
Yeah, and he's got the better run. He's 3/10 behind, but again, he won't be close enough because Bang's got DRS for his teammate. Do we all break enough for turn 6 if we can this time around? Oh, I think Bang got a little bit sideways. A quiet cake about a 10th behind. Can he send a lunge down the inside at turn 9? He's close. Does he go for it? He does send the move. They go side by side. Quiet cake up the inside. Oh, it got close contact, but somehow still both cars facing the right way.
Oh yeah, great racing from those two. Really showing how it's done through that section.
Bang's
great
really,
showing there.
Yeah, Bang's really, I think he's overheated his tyres. He's really sliding that out for a Mayo. That's allowed Quick Killer to get out of a second. Quiet Cake really needs to get this job done. That's not the place you sort of see him move at the last corner. But Bang really doing a good job for his teammate, actually trying to hold him up. But Bang has technically made his pit stop, so he could try and go to the end, but he's really starting to struggle on those medium tyres already, and he's got another 10 laps to go on those sets, so we might see him sooner rather than later. But he doesn't actually have DRS from his teammate, so he's got to be a bit of a sitting duck from Quiet Cake, and maybe even Gob possibly if he can get the run out of turn number 5.
Yeah, really patient driving here from Quiet Cake. He's waited until he's got this DRS, and he's going to breeze past on the inside. So gets the move done up into the podium positions for Quiet Cake, up into P3. And Gobby as well. Will he have a look on the inside? He does. Just seeing if he can get a nice bit of an entry exit here out of turn 7 and get the run on Bang. Will he do it? It looks like he's got the straight line speed to get this done, Scotty, on the outside of turn 9. Let's have a look. Who's going to break later? And it looks like Gobby does. But Bang holding it on the inside. Yep, he'll hold on. So Gobby will have to wait until he gets maybe into turn 5 and opens up the DRS down the straight.
Yeah, that hurt Gob there because he broke early because he thought about the double overtake on Quiet as well. Bang goes super wide through turn 14. But yeah, Gob thought about the double overtake, but because he broke early, that really allowed Bang on the racing line to pretty much brake normally and get that position back around the outside. So unfortunately, Gob played the safer, cautious option, and unfortunately he didn't get the move done, and that's allowed Quiet Cake to really brake, and he's already cleared a second of Bang, so Gob should have him down this straight this time, but he's just lost touch with the Aston, unfortunately. But Gob should get the move done on Bang. You figured down this straight with only 3/10 as Jenner's finally come in to the pits, and he has formed the soft tyre with 10 to go. So we'll see how much time he's sort of lost, but Gob already passed. And that's up the Red Bull up into P4, and you've got Tetris right behind as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see how these tyres go at the end. Remember, Quick Killer has still yet to stop, along with eBay Boy. So I'd imagine they're now going soft tyres, but again, it's that 20-second pit lane loss, unfortunately, because we haven't seen another safety car.
Yeah, that's right. So both Williams up in the top 6 at the moment. Luke Fallow leading this race and really running away with it. You've got Tetris in P6. He has got a 3-second time penalty. Probably will get that 5-second removed if he doesn't come into box again. So not unlikely to see all the McLaren boys quite quiet in the chat. You can see Daniel Starr cheering on his Williams boys. He'll be racing tomorrow in Tier 2. So make sure you check that one out, 4 p.m. tomorrow.
5 p.m. tomorrow.
Sorry, 4 p.m. in Queensland, 5 p.m. down south.
That's right. Ratbag, unfortunately, 3-second time penalty, but still in P8, so if everybody can finish from now, it's good points. Top 15 score, so even if you're last of the finishes, that's still P11, and that's some, I think that's 5 points if I'm not mistaken, so still a good haul of points, so it can help in terms of if there's anybody in Constructors battles, as you've got eBay Boy on Tetris. Surprisingly, eBay Boys got pace on those 19-lap-old hard tyres, so they're still hanging in there. But I'm going to go back to Quiet Cake and Gob. Gob taking the outside line. Quiet Cake tried to defend, but absolutely no defence offered without the DRS, unfortunately. So Gob up into the podium positions, and probably on the best tyre of them all. If you take Quick Killer out, who hasn't stopped, Luke on 12 laps, but he has got about a 5-second gap over Gob. So that's got to be an interesting thing if he can hold on to those mediums. Again, he's got to go 21 laps on those tyres to get to the end.
He does, and you absolutely have called it. Almighty God, the dark horse, and don't we love it when one comes from nowhere. So up into P3 on the podiums at the moment. So let's hope that he can continue that rich run of good form here and rack up another podium for Red Bull. Quiet Cake in the Aston Martin, 18-lap-old hards, as you said, just having a bit more wear on those tyres. Yep, and bang is in. Yeah. So the Alfa Romeo into box.
Yeah, he obviously felt like he needed to go a second stop. You could just see, especially in that last sector, he was really slow on those medium tyres. So rather than wasting any more time, come in for a set of soft tyres. Yeah, he has. So he'd probably have a fresh set from quali. So he'll go out and put some fast laps in. And as I said, we still got another 5 laps that the safety car can come out. So his race isn't over yet. And if we do see anything, could be it's Genesets fast lap 25.9. So that's how fresh they are. Problem is, he's sort of lost all that time on those old mediums, unfortunately, and he's far behind where the rest of the field are, unfortunately.
Quiet Cake having a look on turn 6, thinking better of it, just backing out and letting the Red Bull Gobby just go through turn 7 there. Both had a little bit of an unsettling exit, but continuing on nonetheless. We'll move a little bit further down in Tetris in P6, just trying to pick up. He is, in fact, in the DRS of eBay Boy, so 13-lap-old mediums against 20-lap-old hards of eBay Boy, so it wouldn't be too much in it.
There was contact.
Gobby.
Gob, I think, has gotten away with the end plate, with any end plate damage, but he's sort of thrown the podium away. Not sure if there was that slight little bit of contact between him and Quiet Cake. It would have only been very minor as Luke has come in, but he's picked up a 3-second time penalty. He might be able to get that removed because there is a 3-second penalty glitch coming into this pit lane. Quick Killer is in as well, so they'll come in for a soft tyre. So Quiet Cake will take the lead of this race with 7 to go, but he's got a lot of soft tyre runners behind him that will try and chase him down. eBay Boy, remember, he is yet to stop, so he's going to go long. Ratbag has definitely stopped. Ratbag may find himself on the podium. Gob, where has he come out with that spin? He's only come out just ahead of Luke, and unfortunately, with that soft tyre difference, Luke is really just going to ease his way past, unfortunately.
Yeah, no doubt. Luke will definitely pick up a lot more grip through his tyres here, and he's going to get on the back of this Red Bull up on the inside, coming up to the chicane of turn 6 and 7, where it's brought a lot of drivers a lot of nightmares tonight, but gets that move done nice and cleanly. You'd imagine Gobby won't put too much pressure on him here with those old hards. Just tucks back in and hope to get a nice toe as they go up into turn 9. But as you said, Ratbag up into P3 in the Red Bull. Just we barely mentioned him. He's reserving tonight for your team, Scotty, and yeah, you must be rather pleased to see both your boys up in the top 5, even though Gobby just had a bit of a bit of an incident there last lap, but continuing on and hopefully no damage, as you said, to the front of that Red Bull.
Yeah, but I will point out that Quiet Cake just picked up a 3-second time penalty, so I feel like with how old those hard tyres are, no, he's coming in. He doesn't feel like they can get to the end.
eBay Boy too. He's gone long. eBay Boy's missed his pit. He went long and he's picked up a 3-second time penalty. He went over pit lane.
So that will hurt him. Ratbag will jump into P2, but Luke is in the prime position. As you can see, he's up into P3. He's on completely new soft tyres, and he's only about 5 seconds off the lead of this race. I know he's got a 3-second penalty, but if that is the pit lane glitch, he should be able to get that removed. So if we do stay safety car free for the rest of this one, it's going to be Williams, which is the worst possible outcome for McLaren, that Williams picks up the full 24 points. At the moment, fastest lap for the guys is Bang on a 25.6, so fastest lap going to Alfa Romeo at the moment. There are your penalties on screen. eBay Boy with 3, Ratbag with 8, Luke with 3. That's your top 3 with penalties.
Yep. That is your top 3. So Luke Fallow, he's right behind Ratbag at the moment, and he is getting the move done up on the inside. So Luke up into P2 gets that move done nice and easy. Ratbag will just tuck in behind and look to pick up any kind of toe he can, but Luke really is pulling away there. So Gobby up into P4. He's about 3.5 seconds behind Ratbag and pulling that time down quite quickly, but Quick Killer on those fresh softs up into P5, really reeling Gobby in here, nice and quick, as is his teammate in the Alpha in P6.
Gob went wide on the exit, and that could help Quick Killer try and possibly even get a move. With the way the tyre difference is, he may even sneak a move down the inside here. You can see the Red Bull running wide. eBay Boy does manage to get to the pit lane this time, same as Ratbag, so he's feeling his tyres won't make it to the end. As we got an Alpha Romeo battling a Red Bull, and that's Quick Killer, and then Bang as well. Yeah, Gob was sort of forced wide a little bit, and then both Alfa Romeos currently P2, P3. Gob just needs to try and stay with them now. Bang with that 3 seconds penalty will hurt him. But again, with the soft tyres, it will bring that back up. Two laps and 3 laps. Gob on 16 laps. It's only a matter of time for those Alfa Romeos just to sprint away. But Gob, and he's got Quiet Cake about 6.5 seconds behind, and I feel like Quiet Cake will easily bridge that gap with the 5 laps that we do have remaining. It's just if Gob can try and just hang in there, but he's going to lose a lot of time, especially in the last sector, just with the lack of grip compared to all those guys around him. As Ratbag.
Yeah.
Oh, as we got side-by-side action. Tetris and Dan. Obviously, these two. And
Dan, no.
Oh, and that's a reset.
And he's just reset.
So, caught that on
he's had one of those races, Dan. Yeah, he just had a bit of... He's over those turn 6 and 7. He just wanted to get back on racing. So, yeah, he'll cop a little bit of a pen there, but he's back underway.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was racing the driver that actually spun him in that particular corner about 20 minutes ago. Yep. So, yeah, not sure if there was a little bit more contact, but Dan obviously ran back down into P10. Luke currently a 6.5 second lead, already goes super wide off track at turn 1. So, got to be careful not to pick up another warning. The 3 seconds is nulled because Quick Killer is 3.4, but I have a feeling Quick Killer will be absolutely flying on these soft tyres. I'm waiting for him to possibly set a fastest lap. He goes quicker than his personal best by about a tenth. Bang 2 seconds behind. He's got to break Gob to get out of 3 seconds to claim that podium.
eBay Boy just goes up in a P6, taking Jennifer Lee coming into P5 there on the outside. Looks like they was a little bit lucky not to come together there. So anyway, eBay Boy up into P6 and much fresher tyres than Jenna. So Jenna's coming back at him though, looking to switch back and getting a little bit caught up there. Let's see if he can get this one right. Yep, through 6 and 7, nice and clean. But yeah, Jennifer Lee and eBay Boy having a little bit of a scrap there between the AlphaTauri boys.
You've got to be a little bit careful because this is allowing Tetris to come right back into it. Could easily make an overtake. But Jennifer, obviously, he's been on those soft tyres a little bit longer than what eBay was. So obviously, he's a lot quicker at the moment at this stage of the race. So Tetris will try and get past the flashing AlphaTauri in front of him. Gap at the front, 5.8, so Quick Killer's really closed in that gap. Didn't set the fastest lap at that point. Bang's still having that, I believe. No, Luke's got it, 24.8. So Worm scoring a max 25 points for P1, and then Tetris in P8 still scoring some decent points as well. So if we're not careful, I'm just wondering if they could possibly win the Constructors tonight. Being that we've only got 2 rounds left to go, probably not, but it's really helping them out with a max amount of points.
It's a massive buffer, it really is. Yeah, so Bridgie, unfortunately, missing tonight for McLaren and Trenner. So, yeah, just really unfortunate for McLaren and the team principal, Mercy. He'll be stressing after tonight, no doubt about it, Scotty, as we see Tetris goes up on the inside of Jennifer Lee up into P7 there, and Quiet Cake is right on the back of Gobby now, so those soft tyres really working for him, but he has got a 3-second penalty. So can Gobby extend that out to, to stick behind Quiet Cake within 3 seconds and pick up that P4?
Yeah, I said that 6.5 seconds will go quite quickly, and it has in about, I think, 3 laps, 2-3 laps, and I said, and Gob obviously going wide at turn 9, and that's just opened the door for Quiet Cake. It's whether or not Quiet Cake can get Bang, really. That's his primary target. 3-second penalties for a piece for the both of them. 4 laps. Quiet Cake is 2 laps younger. And Bang really struggling to catch with his teammate as Gold picks up the 3-second time penalty. That will hurt because the guys behind us very quick on those soft tyres. He needed the 3-second buffer that he had in terms of penalties to the guys behind. So Unfortunately, they're now even, so he has to keep him behind on track, but I have a feeling he's going to really struggle with that.
Yeah, this grid has just been chopping and changing all over the place. Unfortunately, I see Ratbag back down at P11. Those 3-lap old softs obviously had to box with those old hards, but yeah, just a bit unlucky there for Gobby picking up that 3-second time penalty on those 19-lap old hards because he really did need that buffer. And eBay boy closing the gap now. He's got it under a second, and you think he'll get the job done the next probably half a lap. What do you see there, Scotty?
I'm just watching Ratbag and Dan. Ratbag got really close to the rear end of Dan on the exit, and I think Ratbag should get this done. Soft tyres compared to old hards, and Ratbag moves into the top 10 ahead of Dan, who we know has had a bit of a mare as eBay Boy gets past Gob into P number 5. So eBay Boy closing in as well. Quiet Cake's within 2.3, and remember this is for the podium, so Quiet Cake, if he can close another second this lap, he could possibly get onto the podium and a chance of an overtake using DRS. So Bang possibly just struggling with those soft tyres. We've seen that Alfa Romeo really sliding around, and Quiet Cake's really hustling 1.6 now. So it'd be very, very close to a move as we've got 2 laps left to go. Luke's holding that 5.7 second buffer with the 3-second penalty. So Quick Killer, I think he'd be fairly happy to come home with a P2. He nearly got the last of first to work. But I have a feeling that he's not quite going to be enough, but it's going to be the battle between Quiet Cake and Bang for the final podium position as Don Moore picks up a 3-second time penalty at the end of this race with a lap and a half left to go.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is Quiet Cake driving the Aston Martin tonight, as he has all year. Fantastic season. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of his favourite tracks because, as he said, he's dropping that time to Bang in front of him, and this is his opportunity to get a podium. They've got just under 2 laps to go, so he's got slightly fresher tyres. He's dropped it down to about 1.3 seconds. Really needs to get it into that DRS zone to give him any kind of a shot here. eBay Boy in P5, probably a little bit too far behind to give it any shot here of a dream of a podium unless Quiet Cake maybe comes unstuck with Bang. And it looks like he is going to get within that DRS here, Scotty.
This is going to be the section that he can really gain time if he can, because we've seen Bang struggle here all night long. And he does get within DRS, but it's going to be if he's there at off the exit of turn 5. As we come through the final corner, turn 16, to start our final lap for the top 4. It's Luke with about a 6-second lead over Quick Killer, and then it's going to be this battle as Gob picks up another 3-second time penalty. So he's struggling with those hard tyres, and that's allowing Tetris, as I want to keep up the penalties from now on. So there's going to be a bit of movement, and Gob, I think, is going to lose about 2 positions because Janeth is penalty free. As we got Tetris gets the job down the inside. He backed out a little bit to get DRS, so he'll have DRS. But I'm going to quickly switch back to possibly the final podium spot. Quiet Cake is 4 tenths. He needs to focus on his exit out of turn 7. Bang, that was good. But Quiet Cake, 4 tenths. He'll surely have a lunge with DRS. Both drivers got no ERS. Can Quiet Cake get close enough? Bang, sends it. Quiet Cake does set the lunge. There is contact. They both survive. Bang holds P3 at the time being. And it's getting close, but we're going to quickly go back to our race leader because he's done absolutely nothing wrong.
And Quiet Cake's out. His DNF.
But Luke Fallow will win the final race, round 20 at Abu Dhabi. Quick Killer will cross the line in P2. Bang. He'll just hold on to that podium position, I believe. Obviously, we've got to wait for any stewards' inquiries, but Bang, an Alfa Romeo 2-3 double podium. eBay Boy, fantastic race from him. He went super long, but he manages to finish in P4. Tetris finishes in P5. Gob will finish 6th at the moment, but Janeth will move up. Strud didn't go quite as well for Janeth, but he'll finish in P7, and there's a car around Don Moore. He's driven into Dan, so that's an unsafe rejoin. Thankfully,
on the final turn.
Yeah, and thankfully Dan has crossed the line. He did overtake Ratbag, so I think Ratbag spun Dom or tried to give the space back, but unfortunately I think that Domo, unfortunately, that was a really unsafe try to get away, and unfortunately Dan was in the pass, so I think that's a penalty all day long for Domo. But carnage of the final race, but quite Cake, not sure where he lost it, but he just crashed out as we were watching Luke going across the line, and Luke will be very happy with his race. P1, fastest lap, that's max 25 points for Williams, and with McLaren not scoring anything and Tetris finishing in P5 at the moment, because remember he could possibly be under inquiry, but considering we only had 9 drivers finish, he's not exactly going to lose a bunch of points, so massive result for Williams in the overall. But yeah, Luke, fantastic drive from him.
So I believe, Quiet Cake may have just sent another little attempt to get the job done. I think it was turn 13 and 14, just going under the bridge there, the little section that was redone a couple of seasons ago. It looked like I just caught the end of Bang just crossing over one of the big curbs there, so may have been a little bit of contact. Complete speculation as to what happened, but yeah, just really unfortunate for Kate getting the DNF on the final couple of corners there, but really good showing from the Alfa Romeo boys, P2 and P3. Williams, of course, P1 and P5, so that's really going to extend their lead in the overalls, and Jenneth finished with a P6 after all that, so the AlphaTauri, P4 and P6, I'm sure that team will be very happy with that showing tonight.
Yeah, obviously a couple of unluckies. Obviously Pancake with the clutch problems, Swiss Lord, Jerobot, Jace, Callie, Quiet Cake on that last lap, and Dommore on that last lap as well. So only the top 9 finished. They'll score points. But yeah, fantastic job from Williams. Fantastic job for Alfa Romeo. I believe they're in a bit of a fight to hold on to P3 in the overall constructors. So only 50 points behind Ferrari, and with Ferrari not scoring any points, I'm pretty sure they've just sealed P3 as Alfa Romeo. They would have scored 20 and I believe 18, so that pushes the gap to about
too much.
About nearly 90 points, and with only 2 races left to go, Tier 2, Tier 1. Yeah, I think that's Alfa Romeo scored P3 overall.
Yep. You got to say congratulations to Timmy. Yeah, I think that's confirmation there. So it looks like Alfa Romeo will secure P3 in the overall. So fantastic, taking over, I believe, around round 6 that he jumped in to take over the role as Karama was the original team principal at Alfa Romeo. Couldn't continue, but Timmy jumped in there, and you've got to say he's done a fabulous job to get his team from P10 around round 6 up into P3. So Timmy will secure the right to retain a team principal role for next season if he chooses to hang around.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm sort of in a fight for P5 myself with Aston and Haas, so double scoring points for Gob and Ratbag, so I'll take that. Obviously not as much as what I would have wanted, but as I said, there's plenty of battles throughout. Even though we've got all 3 drivers' titles scored, or won, it's definitely going to be interesting to see who can actually retain a captain spot and where all these teams finish overall. But yeah, what a race, as we have a bit of a breather and wait for the drivers to get in. So that was a fantastic race, and a great race to round off Tier 3. Obviously, a little bit of shenanigans throughout, especially at turns 6 and 7, but I think a good race overall, and great race to end Tier 3 with Luke coming out on top.
Yeah, no doubt about it, mate. It was plenty of fun out there tonight with the Tier 3 boys. Plenty of hard racing, and the highlight for me has got to be Jenneth Lee getting pole position. I bet you he would have been jumping out of his skin. You saw the boys in the chat, in the Twitch chat and in Inters in the Tier 3 chat, really celebrating that pole for Jenneth there. Bit of a shame that he couldn't execute that strategy on the second safety car, I believe, to come in around lap 7 to get off those mediums. But anyway, he hung it out there. I believe he was the only car in the top 8, I believe, with no pens. So shout out to Jennifer for that solid P6. But yeah, Luke Fallow and the Williams, just outstanding performance. And here he is, the race winner. May as well get this one started. Luke, tonight you had to work your way through a little bit of the field there. But once you jumped onto those fresh softs, you seemed to just carve through them like butter, mate. And once you got out to P1, there was really no stopping you, and extended that gap there and raced away with it. So just let us know how your race went, and congratulations on the win tonight.
Woo! Let's go! Come on! Well. How much of a stitch up was the first lap? Jesus Christ, bro. Out of first corner. What happened between Swiss Lord and the other guy? Do we know what happened?
Yeah. So it was Swiss Lord and Jenneth Lee. They both went into turn one. We had Jenneth on the outside, and Swiss Lord got a bit of a good start up on the inside, and they both gave each other a little bit too much space. And when the corner kind of turned in, the boys made a bit of contact, and Swiss Lord went around, and anyone who was on the inside just absolutely copped a bit of damage. So I imagine you did there.
Yeah, well, I was on the inside, and literally my reactions, I managed to yank my wheel right and get out of the way. No damage. Surprisingly, I actually got away with it. I nearly hit my teammate Tetris on the outside, but I think I made him survive the whole crash by swerving into him and then pushing him out wide, which he didn't get damage either. But then I was way too throttle joy on the dusty outskirts of the road, which you're not meant to be driving on, so I spun by myself, which was not ideal, really. But other than that, I got back around. I was on the hards, built my way up on hards, then went on to the mediums early, which was massive. Carved through. I think the carving stage was on the mediums through everyone. And then jumping onto those softs at the end stage of the race was definitely the way to go, considering the tyres the mediums were absolutely dead.
Yeah, we're sort of wondering about that, whether or not you'd actually try and get those mediums to the end, but obviously come into box, sort of followed everyone else. But it's been a great 4 races from you, Jordan Williams. Obviously 2 wins in the second. How have you found, obviously, jumping into the Williams and obviously racing the last 4 rounds of Inters? And yeah, you're really good, and obviously, hopefully, we'll see you obviously next season, possibly.
Well, yeah, definitely. I joined Inters like at the start of the season, I think, and then realising that the season was already underway, I kind of gave up on it, and it was just a league sitting there in my Discord. But I got the opportunity to join Williams, as you say, in these last 4 races, and I've really realised, for everyone out there wondering if they should join this league, this is one of the safest and funnest leagues I've actually ever raced in, I'll be honest with you. It's very, very, very fun to drive in with amazing community and amazing people to race side by side with.
Great to hear it, Luke. Thanks for the endorsement there, mate. And congratulations on the Tier 3 championship for Williams. You boys have sewn that up, so you've really contributed for the last 4 races. So I'm sure your team principal, Aussie 2K Goat, is over the moon signing you for the last month there. So, congratulations on your race win, and we will see you signed up for Season 6. Anything you want to add before we move on to the next interview, mate?
No.
Yeah, definitely. Probably. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, that's all right. We both thought it, but yeah, great effort, and yeah, I'll let you have the final words.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be back for next season. This has been an absolute bunch of fun. We'll see if I get signed or if I'm reserved. But yeah, thank you, boys, and have a good night.
Beautifully said, mate. I think there's a very strong chance you will be drafted, and quite early, I'd imagine. We may see you even get a possible Tier 2/Tier 3 allocation. We'll see how it goes when the allocations are done
Maybe.
before draft night. But congratulations on a very strong showing in Williams, and we'll see you next season, mate.
Too easy, man. Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. And just having a look at the standings, I think he moves up into P11 as well. So P11 from 4 races, it's a fair shout. Just outside the top 10 in 4 races. Yeah, great job from Luke. And just seeing if we can get the other 2 in. They might not be having a chat. I've sent them an invite, so...
Yeah, I believe Quick Killer and Bang. I believe the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers.
2 Alfa Romeo drivers, so we'll give it another minute before we can get them in, or see if they join. But what we can say, Williams obviously won the Constructors last week, but Powers obviously leading the way early on, unfortunately couldn't quite, or couldn't finish out the season, unfortunately, and couldn't fight Quick Killer for the title, but he was super strong. And then Tetris obviously finishing P4 in the drivers as well, and then Luke at the end. It's been a fantastic race for all 3 of them. Championship, I should say, for all 3 of them in Tier 3 this season.
Yeah, definitely. Can't forget Power's contribution. And I do remember looking at the teams after draft night in Season 5. And I thought Williams really did have a strong lineup. Aussie drafted some really strong characters and guys with some really good racecraft. And It has turned out to be very, very good performance from all of his drivers, especially in Tier 3. But you can't overlook McLaren. They were the Constructors' champs last season, and Mercy's done another really good job getting his boys fighting for another chip there. And unfortunately, no points for McLaren tonight, so that's going to hurt them in their quest to go back-to-back in the overalls. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get the other boys in here tonight, Scotty, so we might wrap this one up. We do have, as I mentioned earlier, we got the time wrong. Tier 2 will be kicking off the final round, round 20 Abu Dhabi at 5 p.m. AEDT, so that is Sydney time. And looking forward to that one. I'll be racing in there with Marty B in the Ferrari, and of course Mercy, the team principal, he's wrapped up the chip there, and yeah, it should be a good race, mate.
Yeah, and obviously I might be on comms for that, but obviously Red Bull, Ferrari, P2 in the championship, only 6 points separating those two teams. So obviously being team principal of both teams in the comms box tonight, it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Obviously Toddy really firing on all forms since we signed him halfway since he joined, but obviously Marty B, second in the championship, just missing out. It'd be nice to call a win for him. He's been ultra consistent. That's why he's finishing P2. He's finished on the podium 4 times, but hopefully we can see a Ferrari on the top step, at least for Marty B. Obviously yourself, Broseph, obviously right up there, hopefully as well. But yeah, it's going to be definitely a decent fight between Red Bull and Ferrari for that final spot. But I can't wait for tomorrow afternoon. Should be a ripper, and Mercy trying to close out in style with his 5th win.
Absolutely. Can't overlook Battlecat as well in the Red Bull, who's, I believe, is in P4 or P3 at the moment on the overalls in Tier 2. So, yeah, both the Red Bull drivers, outstanding. As you said, Toddy really lighting it up. And, yeah, so it's going to be a bit of a battle between Ferrari and Red Bull, but we do have Quick Killer in here, Scotty.
Yeah, so obviously championship winner for Tier 3, Quick Killer. You tried to do the last and first, couldn't quite get there, but you nearly did. But finishing your year, I think you picked up 8 wins. 8 wins, 4 seconds and a third, so that's 13 podiums for 15 starts. You must be really happy with your season.
First of all, apologies for coming in late. I was having a chat with my mom. Yeah, the race was pretty good by myself, and I think so. I already did the last 2 races. One was France, and the other one was Vegas. Yeah, it was a really good season for me as well. My hope was Powers should have joined and we would have given an amazing battle. But instead of Powers, it's Luke, and he's also a really good driver. And uh, uh, and congratulations to him for winning the race. He was unstoppable, to be honest. I was not able to catch him. I was looking like if I'm gaining here, the next corner he's gaining there. Pretty good from himself. And well done to Bangla, who got P3 in the on the podium. So yeah, it was a pretty good race, pretty good season. Thank you so much for letting me race, guys. Uh, Such blessed.
Yeah, definitely, mate. You've had an outstanding season since you've joined. Yep, so congratulations on your chip. And, yeah, tonight going from the back of the field up into P2. So, yeah, I'm sure you've enjoyed yourself out there tonight. All the Alfa Romeo boys, very happy to have you part of the team. From all that I've heard, you've been a tremendous teammate out there. So, Quick Killer will be moving up into Tier 2, and I'm sure he'll be coming off quite early during draft night. So interesting to see where the champion goes next season. Congratulations on outstanding performance all year long, mate. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Alright, and we will wrap it up there. Broseph, thank you very much for hopping into the comms box with me tonight. And yeah, good luck for your final race tomorrow night in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, my pleasure, mate. Thank you very much, Scotty. Look forward to seeing you race in Tier 1 on Sunday afternoon, mate.
Yeah, Mr. Consistent. As that announcement put out, so hopefully I can hold P6 somehow. But anyway, yeah, looking forward to it. But yeah, tier 2 tomorrow. That's going to be our next target. Join us 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, 4 p.m. in Queensland. And just check your local times anywhere else. But yeah, big thank you for joining us on this Friday night. We'll catch you tomorrow afternoon for our final race in Tier 2 for Abu Dhabi. So thank you very much, and we'll catch you then.